Oh yeah, I think it's a shout. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Aisha Mae. How are you doing? I know it's been a hot minute. It has definitely been a minute, but you know, I always come back. Okay, I've got so much to fill you in about. Anyway, wait, before we get there, how are you? How are you guys doing? I have missed you all so much. I have missed doing this so much, but there are reasons why, and you will get to understand in this video. I'm hoping that it's not going to be super long. Like, I'm literally doing this before I go to work. I'm going to try and get to the point of everything and start from where I left off with my last video where I announced that I was going to be leaving the Gambia. Obviously now you can see I'm back in London. The last video I left you off with was that I'm going to be leaving the Gambia. At the time, from what I can remember, I wasn't sure when. Gosh, that was almost a year ago now. I wasn't sure exactly when I was going to go. I just knew that I wanted to leave and I was ready to move forward. And I gave you guys my various reasons for it. But let me just go back so that you guys can understand. Why did I leave? And we'll go from there, right? Okay, so I left because I just felt, I can't think of the right word, but I kind of felt like, you know, like when you've gone to a fun fair and I don't know, somewhere like Fort Park or Alton Towers or something, and you've been on all the rides, you've seen all the scenes, you've done everything. And I'm not saying I covered the whole of Gambia because I never did that, obviously, but I felt like I had gotten what I wanted to get from there, even though I must admit, when I first left, I didn't know what I was going for, what I needed, or any of that stuff. I suppose you just go on your life's journey and figure out things as you're going along, and that's basically what I did. So I just felt like it was coming to the end of the road for myself. Before I announced it, I had already started thinking that I was going to move to Spain. Well, me and my partner were going to move to Spain, and then I did start applying for interior design jobs there within companies, but wasn't really getting anywhere. I started that in November of 2024. Yeah, November of 2024. Wasn't getting anywhere. I don't believe I got any responses. And then obviously the simple fact that I'm not Spanish wasn't helping, or that my Spanish was any good. That wasn't helping. So I decided to change course. Well, me and my partner, we were like, you know what, let's just go back to London. So I was like, okay, cool. Initially, if I'm honest, it wasn't what I wanted to do. I was kind of like, I don't really know if I want to go back to London. Don't want to get back into the whole system of London and all of that stuff. Kind of left and just dashed things and just left. I didn't really care of any consequences or certain things I did. Yeah, so then I was like, And then, do you know what? I just warmed up to that idea and thought, what would be great is that I'll be able to see family and friends again who I have really missed, and get a lot of creative outlets that were inaccessible in the Gambia, because that was something else that I was really, really missing. I just missed a lot of just things like museums, or even just generally walking around seeing different types of architecture, even though you do see that in Gambia, but you know, it has its own style, it has its own everything. And I was just missing seeing more differences, more technology, more of different things, if that makes sense. So yeah, so I was like, okay, cool, we're going to come back to London. And then again, I thought, you know what? I've got so much experience with my interior design. It would be so easy for me to get a job. And I was wrong. I was applying. I did a portfolio, because I didn't actually have a portfolio. Got my portfolio together, did a different CV. I did some research, applied to different jobs. I was on LinkedIn, Indeed, all of these platforms, and wasn't getting anything. I think I got a response from 1 or 2 out of maybe the 50 that I applied for. I was like, wow. When I tell you that was a humbling experience, it definitely was. So I was like, do you know what? I've got experience in childcare. I know a lot of people, and I've still got my contacts, you know, through that. So I thought, right, I'll just go back and I'll do childcare. I am grateful that I'm able to do that, you know. So then again, redid my CV and started applying, and the intent was to get a job before I left. That didn't happen. So yeah, so basically in my last video I mentioned that I was looking for interior design jobs and all of that stuff. So I'm not currently working in interior design, which I do miss, but I know that there's a time for it. I know it's coming back. So, right, let's get to even coming back. So I was quite frank with you guys. I was just very open, told you I didn't have much money, I didn't have much of anything because my business was just quiet. I had a project. I did have some inquiries, but wasn't getting any new projects. So I had a project, but it just wasn't enough to sustain me. So I actually had to step back from that project. I should ask my previous client. I wonder how that's going. I wonder if anything is happening. But yeah, I had to step back from that project and just obviously think of other things, obviously childcare. So I had a friend of mine who, the repeated, what's the word? I can't think of the right word. But anyway, basically I had a bag of people that were helping me out. I don't know why I'm trying to be all flamboyant and extra with all these extra words. I think it's maybe because they are England now. I don't know. But anyway, I've just had so much help from friends. Like I had a friend of mine. I had to really get over myself and my ego because I needed help. And I'm not a person that likes to ask for help. I hate asking for help. I like to do things by myself, which is not it's not the best way to go about life. Especially if you need the help. You need the help. And that is something I've learned and I'm still learning. But so I just asked for help. I asked a number of different people. I was like, look, I need to get back to London. I need to borrow some money. Please, can I borrow X amount of money so that I can get back and, you know, just help myself while I'm out there. And I'm so grateful to a very good friend of mine. She helped me out. And then I was able to book my ticket. So I booked my ticket for April. And I was still actively looking for jobs. I had a few interviews here and there. I managed to sign to an agency who were useless, by the way, and were just chatting rubbish to me about what my fee that I was asking for was too much and all of this rubbish. Useless. The thing is, I saw people talking about this particular agency and they said that it was useless, but I thought, let me just go ahead and see how it went. Useless. Anyway, I managed to get some work via my friend again. She reached out to some people for me. I also reached out to some of my old families that I used to work for who are now friends, asked them if they could help me, just ask people if they know of anybody that needs any childcare needs for a nanny. And that is ultimately what helped me. So I got back on the 22nd of April and the plan was to stay at my friend who helped me, stay with her for a bit. And then there was going to be a room that was going to be open in the place she was staying in. And I was going to end up living there until now. Yeah, September, basically. That just didn't go that way. I'm not even going to put air into the situation because I'm not even going to mention it. The whole situation doesn't deserve any recognition as far as I'm concerned. So I'm not even going to go there. But basically, and it was nothing to do with my friend, like she was just lovely. Yeah, so that didn't end up happening. So I stayed there for, I think, 3 weeks. And then I was bouncing to and fro from there to my cousin's place. My cousin, I'm so grateful to him. Thank you very much. Him and his wonderful family. Yeah, so I was bouncing from there to Airbnb, back there to old work house. back to Airbnb. Like I moved, I think maybe 10 times from April until the end of August to where I am now in my own place. Yeah. Like you do not know. Oh my God. I could not wait to get into my own space and my place and feel comfortable and not have to keep packing. The amount of times I packed and unpacked was just immense. Like, kudos to those people that made those suitcases that I bought Cool Life, because boy, they held me down. Like, boy, I was just, I'm so grateful, like, to not be homeless anymore, basically. I was homeless. I was on couches, well, sofa beds. I was sharing a bed with my friend. I was then again in Airbnbs. And you know, Airbnbs, them cost a lot of money for just 1-2 weeks. Them expensive, no rotted. Yeah, so, oh my gosh, that was a lot. And then even getting this place, I had a little hiccup there with basically when I decided to leave, I decided to do certain things that I did advocate for beforehand. And I would, depending on whether you're going to return back to certain countries. I just don't want to say certain things because I don't want people coming after me. But anyway, yeah, so, oh my God. But again, with the help of my family, I'm here. Luckily, no financial help because, I didn't even mention I have a job. I have a job. Well, I did mention at the beginning, didn't I? I said I'm doing this before I go to work. Yeah, I have a job with an absolutely lovely family. Like, I'm so grateful. Like, when I tell you I put in the work, so I know I'm grateful for where I am, but I know I put in work. It didn't just land on my lap. I was constantly trying to make sure I was having work. I was living week to week for, so I started my new job at the end of May. So I'm my new job at the end of May, but from April to May, I was literally living week to week. So I was doing like babysitting here and there. And as long as I had like about £50 and I could travel to and from wherever I went each week, that's literally how I was living. So I am grateful that those times are past and I can talk about them and share it with you guys. And it's just all the way up from now. So now that I've gotten more settled and so I was just checking the time. I'm able to now get back onto YouTube again, speak to you guys. I still need to figure out how my channel is going to look. I am still settling in where I'm now living and obviously still settling in back into London. Oh gosh, that was mad. When I first got back to London, it felt like a simulation. That's what I kept saying to people. I was like, it felt like a simulation. It didn't even feel real. It was just like, am I really here? After all those times, or after all those years of being in Gambia and also feeling like I was never going to come back. Like I genuinely didn't think I was going to come back. Not to live anyway. I was adamant. Never say never. The lessons I have learned, never say never. But yeah, so like I never thought I was going to end up back in London again. But like I said in my last video, I feel like I've gone back to move forward, and I definitely feel like I've moved forward leaps and bounds already. And I feel like I've done so much in such a short space of time. I don't even feel like I've really digested like everything that I have done. And yeah, I still haven't really had the time to really like sit down and really digest it properly. I have been working a lot and I still haven't seen certain friends of mine just yet, but there's still time for that. And you know what? I'm so grateful that I came when I did, and my friends did say to me, don't come in the winter because you're going to want to run back. And they wasn't wrong, because when I first got back, yes, I was cold. I was so sick of being cold. I was always cold. Everyone else was just quote unquote normal, and I was always cold. That it was actually irritating me because obviously my body had to acclimate back to this type of weather, and I was just constantly cold. So I was just constantly complaining, constantly wrapped up, wearing coats when it was like 18 degrees and stuff like that. Like, I know even now some people might be like, oh, you're wearing a jumper. And for me, I've always been a cold person anyway. I always feel the cold quite easily. So, I don't know. But anyway, for me at the time, it was cold. And I know I was acclimating. It was totally different because right now, with the weather, I don't even know what the temperature is right now, but I think it's about 16 or maybe 18. I would have been in a full-on winter coat. I'm not going to wear a winter coat today. I'm just going to wear a jacket. So I know that I'm acclimating and getting used to it and everything like that. Just, you know, I must admit, like, it's actually been nice being back. It's been so nice to see all the children that are my family and friends that have grown so much. It's nice to still have the love of them and still have the relationships that I had before I left. You know, those are true friendships, regardless of the distance. It hasn't made a difference. Yeah, which I'm very grateful for because, you know, those kind of things can really harm relationships no matter what type they are. But I suppose it depends what you want from those relationships. So therefore, if you nurture it in whatever way that may mean for you and the other person, then it will always be good. And I feel like that has happened in this instance. So I almost feel like I've kind of slightly slot back into place, but not, like, because obviously I've grown and I've changed as well myself. So, and obviously everyone else has grown and changed too. So, but I don't feel like an outsider or anything like that. But I do definitely, I have noticed that, you know, certain things are just like so weird to me. Like, I remember when I first, not long after being here, saw my friend's phone on the counter and was like, what's that? And she was like laughing at me and was like, it's my phone. I was like, I ain't never seen it before. It was folded and it looked like a little rectangle or square. And I was like, what's that? And what else? There were some other things. Oh my gosh, I remember getting into a taxi and the handle was flush with the door. And I was just standing there like, how do I get in this car? And the guy was like, you push it here. I was like, ooh, fancy. Like, I haven't seen that in Gambia. Like, I'm not saying it's not there, but I haven't seen it. And basically everything is more or less cashless. Like, I haven't even withdrawn cash since I've been here. All I've been doing is tapping my phone, to be fair. I have had cash, but I just haven't taken it out myself. What else? Yeah, I suppose even the systems. Oh my gosh, I drove for the first time again the other day here. I got a zip car. For anyone that's watching that's not from the UK, because I know that I have different viewers. So Zipcar is a car rental, kind of like, but it's not like your usual rental where you go to the establishment or place or whatever, and then like you sign out and whatnot, and then you have it for, I don't know how many days or week or whatever. This one is like an app on your phone, and you choose a subscription. Everything's a bloody subscription these days. But anyway, you choose a subscription, and then you can either use one for flexi, they call it. So literally, if I wanted to go from A to B right now, then I would just find a flexi car, pick up the car, go and drive it to where I'm driving it to, leave it where it is, and just get on with my day. And then there's the return. So there's return one where you pick it up from where it usually stays, you do your daily duties, whatever it is you want to do, and then you drop it back off where you picked it up from in the first place. There's that as well. So yeah, I used it when I moved here, and that was something else. Like, in terms of actually driving the car, that was fine. It was just the rules. Like, I was like, oh my God, I've forgotten the rules. Like, you know, watching the road signs and stuff. Because to be honest, in Gambia, There was none of that there. I wasn't doing that. I was just driving like and any speeds, even though there is a speed limit. But come on now, like who watches that? Who does anything? Like just do your thing, man. So I was always quote unquote speeding in Gambia, and then obviously I was on the opposite side of the road, and here people are so much more pedantic about, you know, following the rules and you're doing the wrong thing, and like people will shout at you if you're doing the wrong thing, all that kind of thing. They're not saying they don't do that in Gambia, because they do. Even though they'll be shouting at you, yeah, they are doing the wrong thing and they don't have a clue about driving in Gambia. It's a mad thing. But anyway, so yeah, so that was an experience, and I was so nervous, man. I was so nervous because I haven't driven here since 2020. I was so nervous. Yeah, so that was an experience driving here and trying to make sure I was sticking to the 20-mile-an-hour thing on certain roads. Even though, to be fair, you can get away with it as long as there's no camera, but I felt like a newbie on the road again, so I was just taking my time, and plus I was in a rental car, so that too. So that was mad. But yeah, I feel very, I suppose, yeah, I'm just super grateful that I'm able to be here. I do miss people in Gambia. I miss a lot of people in Gambia. I miss my parents, obviously. My friends now, they've actually moved themselves. So not everybody, but the main people that I used to hang around with, they are no longer in Gambia as well. You know, there's a lot that Gambia needs to do to be better. And I'm not saying it's not a place that I don't still dearly love. Still love Gambia to the core. It grew me, even though I was a big back 36, 37-year-old person. And when I went, I still grew a lot to now being back here and, you know, picking my life up in a completely different way. To be honest, I can't even say I'm picking my life back up, because I would say it's back up because it's not the same as it was before. It's different. It's totally different. I'm different. Everyone's different. The country is different. 4.5 years is a long time. That is a whole lifetime for a child. So yeah, it's a long time. A lot has changed. I've changed. The country's changed. But yeah, I'm just trying to carve out my little corner for the meantime and see where it takes me. Definitely want to keep up with YouTube and social media. I'm going to try my best now that I'm more settled than I was before. Because like I said beforehand, I wasn't even, well, you're not really quote unquote supposed to record when you're, you know, at these Airbnbs and stuff. And I didn't really feel comfortable doing that. I just wanted to wait. But yeah, I'm back. I am backity back. And yeah, I want to kind of do similar things with my channel that I was doing in Gambia, but in the UK. I might try and focus more on Black businesses here. There's certain people I know that are doing really well, and I'd love to showcase them and what they're doing. I would love to go on other people's shows on channels, on their channels, podcasts. Oh, I am doing a podcast. I don't know when this is going to come out. It's most likely after the podcast. So I will put the link below for that. I did a podcast. I suppose it will be past tense. I can't see me getting this out before. I don't know when this is going to come out, whether it's going to be past tense or present tense or future tense, I should say. Yeah, I would love to go on more podcasts. Like, I just feel like I've got a lot to say, but yeah, I kind of want to try to branch out a bit more, just see where it takes me. I'm not really sure. I am going to go with the flow and trust in the universe and yeah, trust my instincts as I always do. London is for now, for at least maybe a couple of years, 2-3 years or so, but who knows? I don't want to say anything specifically because I don't want to eat my words again. I just want to live my life and see where it goes. Yeah, but any questions you do have, please feel free to ask me. Obviously, I'm not going to disclose exactly what location I'm in London. I'm just in London. You know what I mean? Medaya, London. Yeah, I think that's it. I can't really think of anything else. tell you guys. To be fair, I thought this video was going to be longer. In my mind, I was like, oh, it's going to be a good hour or so, but it is what it is. Yeah, but it's nice to be back. I'm not sure how frequently I will be back, whether it's going to be once a week and all of that. I don't know, because my life looks very different here. I am working Monday to Friday, but I am going to try my best to record as much as I can. And obviously, you know, on try and be more present on Instagram and TikTok again. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. And I do hope that you found this interesting in some kind of way. And if you did and you're new, please do subscribe, like and share and all that good stuff. Yeah, I really do appreciate you guys just hanging in there with me. I have seen that people have been literally just checking out my channel of late, which I'm really appreciative of. And I will see you in my next video. Have a great day, night, wherever your day are in the world. Love you all. Thank you very much. Bye.